It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Wednesday show, January 10th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Matt. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. Why are you looking at me like that?
You look nice.
Thank you, Tom.
Look how nice he looks, guys. All
Appreciate that.
flopped. Becca just took care of him, and he got in here literally 15 seconds
I mean,
ago.
I've been here for the last hour, I will have you know.
We know that. We know you're the most prepped guy around. That's not the point. The point is, I went in there, and Becca's still giving you the scalp massage, and I gave her the sign, the wrap-up sign.
That is
but,
so fun.
But she did not wrap up.
So, Wednesday's haircut day for me.
What are you, Braylon?
And Braylon actually had his flight canceled in Houston today, had to fly to Florida, then come home, so he'll be here tomorrow. Flying to Houston, I've heard nothing but horror stories about it.
It's the weather.
So, yeah, and add weather. Pete Spivak and JB in the house. Glad to have JB with us as well. But getting back to my story here about Becca. So, Becca didn't let anybody bother me from the show when I have the scalp massage. She puts the hot towel over my eyes.
I saw that.
I get the relaxation, and she said she gave you the look of death when you tried to approach me.
She did. She gave me the look of death. But, I still gave her the wrap-up sign. It didn't work, but I'm happy for you. Are you happy?
I mean, I feel like $1 million bucks.
Then you're good. You look like $1 million bucks.
Oh, man.
I think 900,000 at least. We got a hell of a show today.
I know. It is so exciting. For all the Michigan stuff that's going on, there's a little game on Sunday as well with the Detroit Lions. And you, for as much as you want to turn your attention to that, you look back at Michigan. We're going to look ahead. We're expected to be joined by Will Johnson today, the defensive MVP of the college football national championship game. So Will Johnson,
look at him and Dad,
is going to join us sometime. Oh, that's a great photo.
Oh, yeah, I'll go back to it.
That is a great photo.
Yes,
Deion Johnson and Will Johnson, father and son, on the field of the college football playoffs. So expected to be joined by Will Johnson sometime after 2:45. Some scheduling conflicts there, so we'll see when we can track him down. Dan Miller will join us today, talking Lions and Rams. And then, of course, intern Alex. He was also in Houston for the national championship game.
He's got a good life, man.
I'm telling you. And now, what's next for the Wolverines? We'll tackle that with intern Alex.
I got some fresh Dan Campbell sound from today's press conference as well coming up.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Good news on Sam Laporta. Hold on here, boys.
All right, well, let's start there because I think that's one of the biggest question marks of this weekend, right, Tom? I mean, on Monday, Dan Campbell came to the podium and said, look, it's not as bad as we thought. It's days, not weeks, and the next 48 hours will be telling. Well, 48 hours later, here's what Dan Campbell had to say about his rookie tight end.
I mean, I don't know if we're quite there yet. I think the best way to say it, because I know it'll come up every day, but he's improving. He was out there walkthrough, and I don't foresee us knowing anything or it feeling like we have a real good picture until probably Friday afternoon. So, but every day we're going to do more with him. But he's improving.
All right, I'm making a call here. Sam Laporta will be suited up on Sunday night football.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Tom, because, is that gamesmanship there or is that the actual truth?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think he won't, obviously not going to be 100%. I'll take a 50% Sam Laporta. Suit him up, put him on the field. James Mitchell backs him up. Brock Wright will probably be active. Obviously, they didn't go out and get anybody.
Zach Ertz was a popular name that I think a lot of people wanted to see here.
They just don't do those things.
Right.
It's just not in this Lions dynamic.
Right.
They don't go out and get anybody. So that tells me that they feel confident enough that they can get this kid on the field.
And again, even if it's not this week, hopefully you can win one without him. And it looks like perhaps if you are fortunate enough to advance to the following week, this is something that would be in play for Sam Laporta. We'll absolutely see. It's crazy to me that this one player, this one rookie, means so much to you.
Yeah.
Isn't that so? And look, this whole rookie class, really, this is the best rookie class in the history of Lions football.
Yes.
Without question, when you're talking about
play right away.
Laporta, yes. Laporta, Gibbs, Branch, Jack Campbell is coming along.
He is.
You almost forget that he's
Big
in
sack
that class
last
too.
week. Big tackle, big sack.
But what Laporta and Gibbs have meant to this offense specifically, Laporta the biggest and best red zone target for Jared Goff, a third down machine, Sam Laporta. So if he can't play, that is a significant blow to this team. And I think the Lions are exhausting every possibility to try to get him on the field for Sunday.
No doubt, man. Hey, this is it. You don't sit out if you could play. You got to play. This is where you just take the ropes off, take the wrapping off. J-Mo, the wrapping is officially off. It's thrown in the garbage. You know how dads sit around with a garbage bag on Christmas morning?
Yeah.
The kids are ripping up stuff. Hey, go get me that. Wrap it up, throw it in the garbage. Everything is off of J-Mo. There's no plastic wrap around them. There's no bubbles. There's nothing. You're going to see everything they got this week against the Rams, and they're going to need it.
Matt, do you remember when the season started back in September? I think it was a training camp injury, and I can't remember who got hurt in training camp.
I remember. Go ahead, keep talking.
And then
J-Mo did. I know he tweaked the hamstring.
And then it was Travis Kelce getting injured or hurt the week of the Lions game and having to sit out. The defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, Chris Jones, he was in a contract dispute.
Yep.
And you talked about this Lions luck that this team had.
Yeah.
Usually these things would go the other way. Player got hurt, out for the season. You're playing the Chiefs.
It was CJ That's who it was.
CJ.
When he got hurt, and we're like, oh, that's it for the year. No, it's not it for the year.
I think you're right.
And he got hurt in training camp as well.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was training camp.
That's it.
And all of these things, Lions have gotten lucky when it comes to injuries. And I know, CJ was out for pretty much the whole season, but is back now.
Yeah.
Aleem McNeil went down late in the season. Well, Aleem McNeil is back now. Jared Goff is one of 9 starting quarterbacks.
Ooh.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. Jared Goff is one of 9 starting quarterbacks that have made it through the entire 17-game schedule. Amon-Ra wasn't that bad when he missed one game.
Correct.
This team has been fortunate, and now, even with Laporta, that thing could have been really, really bad. And whether he can play this week or not, I think it is important and worth noting that, he could play this week. He might certainly play next week if they win. It wasn't that bad.
Thank God, because it looked really bad. And at Ford Field, we were there. They did not show the replay. Anytime a home field does not show you a replay, A, the Lions were offsides or they've held, or B, the player that got hurt really got hurt. Mm-hmm. We didn't see it. I was calling home. I was texting people, hey, what's up with Laporta? And what are they saying on the broadcast? And a couple of guys said, oh, man, don't look good. It's a hyperextended knee. Could be ACL. Some people are saying he's out for the year. I mean, this is in the third quarter. People are telling me this already. That's how telephone gets working. Once you start a rumor, it just goes like wildfire. Like you said, man, everything is working out almost perfectly for this team.
No doubt.
And the Rams, too, they got healthy.
No doubt. And I'll tell you, just about the game in general, ever since the Michigan game ended, I feel like the mindset has turned a lot bit to the Detroit Lions. And I saw this morning the SeatGeek chart from Fox Sports. The highest ticket price is the Detroit Lions game this week.
Yeah.
We know about that, but that price has come down.
Really?
It went from $530 to now $430.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if that is because of the Sunday night game.
I'll tell you this. I have some friends that work at my other gig with me, and they're saying, "Hey, Maz, what do you know? Who do you know?" By the time they're done paying fees, those $400 tickets are $600 tickets.
Right.
That's the difference. It's the $200 to almost $300 of all the crap that Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and what's the biggest one? StubHub. That's what they do to you.
Well,
they
it's
kill
essentially you have to buy an extra ticket. That's really what it is.
It's terrible.
You want to buy 4 tickets, you really have to buy 5 because that's what all the fees add up to is buying another ticket. But just from a couple of days ago on Monday, that graphic was 530. Now it's 430 to get in. And again, I think that may have something to do about attending a Sunday night game. Not watching a Sunday night game, but attending one.
Look at the Kansas City game. It's going to be $0. $69 is the get-in price, cheapest at Arrowhead. I'm shocked about that.
Well, I'm kind of not because Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game in his life.
Yeah.
All they do is play home playoff games.
But he's home.
I understand, but what I'm saying is for that fan base, it's not something that's real new.
You know what? Yeah, they're not used to playing the first week of the playoffs. Well, that's the thing.
Well, not only they're not used to playing the first week of the playoffs, but they just assume that they're going to win, then they play next week. And then they'll win and play the following week. Or next year they'll get another one. I really think it's so high here in Detroit.
Because we're desperate?
And we're
hungry.
You haven't seen it before.
Right.
If this is next year, that price is probably $250 get-in price. Maybe.
No, not these. Detroit fans, Lion fans are starving. They're going till they win a Super Bowl. Those prices ain't dropping at all.
You know, I don't know how many seats it holds in Kansas City, but I saw the Dallas
About
price
80.
up there was $92 or $91. I think it holds like 90,000 people.
It does.
You know, so I mean, there's so many different areas of the field, and if they have standing room,
they do.
That absolutely pushes that ticket price lower as well.
I want to go to Jerry's World one of these times. I went to the old Texas Stadium with the hole in the roof.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I remember my wife and her friend, we were visiting her in Dallas, and the Redskins and Cowboys were playing. I'm like, if I'm in Texas, I'm going to the Cowboy game.
Now, was your wife and her friends excited because that was the
iconic? They dropped me off.
That was the iconic scene from the show Dallas?
No.
The overhead view of Texas Stadium?
I don't even remember that. That's cool. Now you remind me. So they dropped me off literally on the highway. And they kept going to San Antonio to go do something else.
Get out of here.
And I remember climbing over the guardrail, crossing traffic, and getting my ticket right outside of Texas Stadium to go watch the Skins and Boys.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Guys, this game means so much to so many different people, Lions and Rams, and for a number of different reasons. First and foremost, for the people here in Detroit who have been here for, I think of, Ron Cracchiola. I think of Michael Banks. I think of Megan Stefanski, and her dad. Fox Sports did a great piece on it.
They're great.
Like the Lions fans, what this game actually means, this isn't just another playoff game. There's what are they, 6 playoff games this weekend?
Yep.
This is not just another playoff game. This is, obviously it's not life or death, but when it comes to sports,
it is.
This means a lot if you try to just kind of talk about it in sports terms, and it is emotional for so many different people. Dan Campbell was at the podium today talking about what this game means in staying true. I'm going to play that for you next, so stay tuned for that. We'll get it right out of the break, and then we'll talk about it as well. But first, a message from us here at Woodward Sports Network. We'd love to let you know that you can head over to the woodwardsports.com shop tab. It is a new era in sports wearables. We've got new designs, amazing apparel, the ultimate swag. Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab. Hoodies, tees, hats, guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today. woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab.
Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 and make your home buying dreams come true.
Yeah, we are. I know we are. I'm not worried about that, the stage, all of those things, because we've dealt with that for a while now, and I feel like we're prepared for that. You know, it's going to come down to all the same things it does in every game for us. It's going to be the fundamentals, you know, and I think the other thing when you get in some of these, which is a little bit new, is I said this last week, is players don't press. You know, to make a play, go the other way. Man, and you're trying so hard to make a play that you get out of position or you put a teammate out of position, and it puts a strain on everybody around you, and all of a sudden, everything breaks down. That's what we got to stay. Just stay focused on that. You know, you want to make a play so bad you jump out of your gap, and then all of a sudden they hit you on a run. So those are the little things, man. Just stay true to what we've done and what's gotten us to this point. We won 12 games for a reason. We're where we're at for a reason. Let's do it again.
Oh, yeah. And that was Dan Campbell from earlier today. Bombshell news in the NFL. We'll have to talk about this as well. We'll get to the Lions momentarily, but just bombshell news in the NFL. Mads, would you like the honors?
I will. Thanks to JB for finding this. Tom Pelissero reporting that the great Pete Carroll is out in Seattle. I am in absolute shock.
One of 3 head coaches ever to win a Super Bowl and a national championship.
Could have won 2 Super Bowls.
And
Should've.
he said on Monday
that he was ready.
He absolutely wanted to be back and coach the Seattle Seahawks. I'm curious to see if he gets another shot somewhere.
He's the oldest coach in the league.
Does he start over somewhere? 73 years old. Does he want to start over somewhere?
I don't know. Maybe that Charger job, he can go over there. He likes the quarterback position.
Back to L.A.?
Maybe. Why not?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good fit.
That might absolutely help.
That would help.
You know who?
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh.
Staying with
Detroit.
The least jobs available for Jim Harbaugh,
right,
the better. But Pete Carroll out in Seattle, man, that's a shocker to me.
Yeah, we wanted to, guys like that, they write their own ticket, right? Pete Carroll's had so much success in Seattle, and, it's been a rough couple of years.
They lost a couple of games this year towards the end of the year that they shouldn't have lost, but he kept that team alive. All the injuries, all that trade for Russell Wilson. They got all those draft picks. He's got a great receiving corps, great running backs. He's just missing that QB. Geno Smith was brought in. He's a stopgap. He made his money. He did well. He got him in the playoffs last year instead of our Lions. So he made his money, but he's not going to be the future quarterback of that Seattle team. And him and I forgot the GM's name, John Snyder. I think it's John Snyder. They've been working together for years and years.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised about this.
Curious to see what happens there and what happens to Pete Carroll. Would he go to L.A., go back to where he really made a name for himself as the head coach of the USC Trojans?
Hell yeah.
And just kind of finish it out there. So more on that as we get news on that. I do want to go back to Dan Campbell here for a second here, guys, because one of the things that this team has been so successful at, it is staying within themselves. It is playing for the man next to them. I know it's cliche, but that's what they do. And not trying to do too much on these primetime games. The Lions are 4-0 in nationally televised primetime games when the kickoff is 7 p.m. or later. They beat Kansas City, they beat Green Bay, they beat the Las Vegas Raiders, and they beat the Denver Broncos. And they really whipped up, on Green Bay, Denver, and Las Vegas specifically. That is great practice I guess, for lack of a better way to say it, as you come in now to the playoffs, you know, everything's amplified, obviously, but at the same time, you have been there and done that in these big games.
Right.
This is just another one of them.
It is, and I think he'll get them ready. Like he said, they drafted this bunch of guys. They brought these guys in. These are their type of guys. That's why they didn't go out and get Zach Ertz. That's why they don't go out and sign Ndamukong Suh. They have their way of doing things. You know, if we were running a team, they'd have everyone that was basically a free agent. They'd be on the team. But that's not how they do it. So he trusts in his team. He knows they could bounce back from that Dallas loss, which they did last week against Minnesota to sweep the Vikings and go, what, 1, 2, 3, 4-2 in the division, right? Is that what they went?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-2 in the division. He ain't worried about it, man. He ain't scared. Remember the old saying from our old coach, the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator now. And why do I forget his name? Why do I always
Bill
lose?
Belichick?
No.
It's Jim Schwartz?
Jim Schwartz. Jimmy Handshake. We ain't scared. They're going to be ready. They don't lose 2 games in a row all year, first time since 72. Now it's one or done. You got to keep winning, right? He'll have them ready. He believes in this team.
No doubt.
They believe in him.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's
By
that.
the way, I thought of something else.
Okay.
How good does that Seattle job look now to Ben Johnson?
Well, you don't. Not good.
Really?
Again, not good. This thing is easy, okay? Football is very easy. If you have a quarterback, you win. If you don't have a quarterback, you lose. Period.
Okay.
And
That's
right
what the
now,
draft is for.
Right now, Seattle doesn't have a quarterback. Who's Seattle taking in the draft?
I don't know where they're picking. I don't know who would be there. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that could fall. Maybe your boy JJ falls to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a thought.
I understand that, but again,
Shit.
well, don't swear, please. What was that? The top 10?
No, it was the top 10 draft. I was looking for the
let me
old
see
draft.
that.
Okay, you got it.
Let me
man.
see that.
Yeah, okay, hang on.
Where's Seattle in there?
It's not in the top 10.
Okay,
no.
Seattle is not in the top
No.
10. So they're not getting, they're not getting Caleb. They're not getting Drake May. They're not getting Jaden Daniels.
Well, they got all those draft picks for Russell Wilson.
Right.
Don't say never. They can make a trade. The Bears aren't picking a quarterback at 1.
They are.
They're trading that pick.
No, they're not.
You
They're
wanna
gonna
bet?
no, but yes. They're taking Caleb Williams.
No, they're not.
They are. They cannot pass up Patrick Mahomes.
They're trading down to 2 or 3, and they're getting
Not
Marvin
going to
Harrison.
happen. Not going to
They
happen.
kept their head coach, Matt Eberflus.
Yes.
They got rid of their OC and
and they
quarterback
broomed
coach.
everybody out. And you know what that OC is going to get to do? That OC is going to get to draft his quarterback and start the clock over again.
We'll see.
I hope they don't. I hope they allow Justin Fields to be the quarterback because he's got to get paid next year.
Yeah, they do.
Pause.
Well, no, I mean I'm just having a conversation with you.
I know. I was just looking at the last tweet by Adam Schefter.
Oh.
It was just a statement from Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll get that. We'll get that for the next segment if you could. But either way, yeah, I think Chicago is absolutely.
You think they're picking at 1?
Absolutely. They have to.
You know how many picks they can get for that number 1?
I understand, but at the same time, is Justin.
I think Justin Fields.
You're not going to pay Justin Fields $40 million. Just not going to do it.
Why not? You paid Daniel Jones $40 million.
And look how that worked out.
He's better than Daniel Jones.
You want to be the New York Giants?
Not really.
No, you don't. So, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but, even if the Chicago Bears took, Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, they moved up to
Traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky.
That was the Patrick Mahomes
over
draft.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. A lot of people passed him
That's
up.
like the Portland Trailblazers passing up on Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I get it.
And whether you I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be a successful NFL quarterback. I could be totally wrong. I could be, I'm just like I still think I'm right about Justin Herbert. I don't think Justin Herbert is good. I think Justin Herbert is Matt Stafford without the ring. He's Matt Stafford in Detroit. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be a good NFL quarterback, a great NFL quarterback.
Why do you say that? You don't like what he's done, basically, in those years that he's been there? coming over with Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma and doing his thing at USC. I know it's not his fault that the defense can't play.
I think Caleb Williams is a little bit of a fugazi.
Okay. I didn't like that he
Fake.
talked in the third person a couple of times, though.
You know, I think he's kind of like there's something about like his.
Don't you like how he went and cried in his mom's arms?
That's what.
You didn't like that?
So, look, societal norms and what happens in an NFL locker room. If Caleb Williams is trying to gather a group of men, okay, in an NFL locker room, I think you want like your prototypical tough guy. No disrespect to going to cry to mommy. I understand that.
Well, Ryan Leaf was that guy, and he didn't do anything. Ryan Leaf was the big tough guy.
Oh, I thought you said Ryan Leaf went home and cried to mommy.
No, Ryan Leaf was the big prototypical big mouth big guy.
Yeah, but you're just
So was Jamarcus Russell.
You're just picking and choosing now. I mean, I'm just talking about what you currently think of an NFL locker room.
I think the NFL locker room now is way more easy to have a guy that has some emotions in it than ever before. Obviously, there are women coaching on a team now. There are women refereeing games.
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm not. See, here is a JJ comparison. Like JJ has a mindfulness about him.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy.
That is right.
Thanks,
you.
Gus.
Like that mindfulness, sitting in the end zone, getting in touch with his Zen, meditating, all that I'm down with.
Yeah.
When you say you want to go home and cry and hold your cat, I just don't think that jives.
Well,
I could be totally wrong about that, but I just don't think that jives in an NFL locker room. And he's too.
he might not cry when he's in the pros. He cried a little in college.
And I also think he gets bad advice.
Joey Harrington cried. Never mind.
Oh,
I think Caleb Williams' dad is a problem.
Yeah.
I would not want to deal with Caleb Williams' dad. You know, like
Robo QB, Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, you know, I mean, every aspect. You know, when his dad comes out and says, you know, Caleb Williams might come back to USC this year because we might not like where we're going to go.
Well, the Mannings did that. You like Archie Manning, don't you? I love Archie Manning.
I didn't like that at the time. No, I did not like that.
Look at Peyton Manning. Looks like he didn't want to go to my New York Jets.
I never heard that story.
Well, he played another year. Remember when he came back?
Yeah.
Jets were on the clock. Bill Parcells. They're about to get their franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'm coming back to Tennessee. And what happened?
Mm-hmm.
They lose their bowl game. They lose a couple of games. He doesn't win the Heisman. Charles Woodson beats him out. And he still went to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Won a couple Super Bowls, 2 different teams.
Again, I have feelings about guys, and he's one of those guys, I'll tell you.
John Elway.
And again, you can kill me all you want. It's not going to be settled. You're not going to be right either. You know, if you think Caleb Williams is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, ain't no way you're going to be right now either. It's just one of those things that's got to breathe.
I know, no doubt. It's opinions.
Right?
We all have them.
It's just opinions.
It's like
and
doorknobs.
I'll tell you, I was right about Trevor Lawrence as well.
So far you are.
So Trevor Lawrence is a guy I've been getting universally killed about for years. But after a certain number of years in the NFL, I think more people are kind of moving to my side on Trevor Lawrence than not. Do you think I get any apologies around here?
No,
No, I ain't getting no apologies.
you're not.
You ain't giving me no apologies
No.
other than busting my chops.
Totally not.
Sorry, Ryan.
All you do is break my chops.
No, it's all every single week, every single day. More from Dan Campbell. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness, where I was today, by the way, signing up, JB.
Hey, nice.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Planet Fitness
Show
is
off.
your home of the judgment-free
get to the
zone,
gym.
where anyone, and I mean anyone, even Ryan Ermanni is
Yes.
at Planet Fitness, everybody. They make you feel comfortable and able to work on your fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym, Tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a month with no commitment. No matter where you are, there is always a Planet Fitness nearby, with more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today or check them out online, as always, at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, give your pet the best. You want to give them Premier Pet Supply, hands down Michigan's best pet store. The same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box stores, except one major difference. Family owned and locally operated for over 30 years. Over 60 brands of food with nutritional experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. You want it, premierpetsupply.com.
Well, I'm glad, because, he needs something to motivate him. Look, Saint will always he's going to find that, and that's what you got to love about him. That's why he's the ultimate competitor, because he can look at something and say, you know what, all right, well, if you don't think it's good enough, watch this. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's who he is, and it's because he's wired that way. There's nothing fake about that. That's exactly how he thinks. Watch him in practice. He works like that every day. He works like he wants to be the best, and he believes he can be the best. And so, man, you can't have enough of those guys. I mean, how do you fail when you have guys like that?
Dan Campbell talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's just one of the guys that has to step up this week for sure if Laporta indeed cannot go. Tom Mazaway on the desk with us. Braylon out today. Flight got canceled from Houston, so he had to go to Florida and then get back to Detroit. JB is with us. Pete Spivak is with us as well.
Hi.
You said some guys agreeing with me on the Caleb Williams stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, just quickly, I have to say, the 4-0 stat that I don't count the Cowboys game.
Oh, good.
I'm not counting the Cowboys game at all.
Not counted.
So it doesn't count to me.
Because it was a win.
It should have been 5-0 then.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give them the win, but I'm certainly not giving them the loss.
Good for you, Jack.
You got it right. I wanted to continue talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown because he's obviously one of those players that will have to step up even more than he already has if Laporta, in fact, can't go. And one of the things where this offense has been humming along throughout the season is you just don't know who's going to beat you on any given week.
Right.
4 different players have had over 850 yards and 10 touchdowns this year.
How about that?
Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and David Montgomery. This could be a week where you absolutely run the football as well.
Why not?
This could also be a week where Jameson Williams gets the balls that that Sam Laporta would normally get, those target attempts. So there's a lot to decide on whether or not who can fill in if, in fact, Laporta can't go.
And don't forget, last year when they traded Hockenson over to the Vikings, that's where Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell all stepped up, and they still had touchdown after touchdown. Brock Wright won that Jets game for him. on his own on that 60-yard touchdown pass from Goff to him. So you don't know who's going to play. I think everyone is active this week as far as tight ends go. James Mitchell, Brock Wright will be healthy, and I do believe Sam Laporta will suit up in this game. Whether they play him a lot, that's another story. But he will be ready to go. And, of course, you got the dynamic duo in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I think the Lions are in good hands. They're as good or better than the Rams. Do we like this matchup? No, we don't. But are they just as good as the Rams? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, you talk about the matchup, too, and one of the things, obviously, the Detroit defense, 88 rushing yards a game that they allow. They are one of 3 teams in the NFL that doesn't allow more than 90 yards rushing in a game.
Kieran Williams is a challenge.
So that is a top 3 rush defense. However, when you look at their pass defense, Tom Mazaway, 27th in the NFL.
Wow. Yeah, their secondary is like ours.
Going up against the up against the Rams. Now, the Rams have a top 10 passing offense, and why wouldn't they? Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. They use their backs. Tyler Higbee at tight end. They use their backs out of the backfield pretty well. So they can beat you a number of different ways. That, to me, is the absolute key to this game. Can the pass defense slow down those 2 guys on the outside?
Hey, both pass defenses will be put to the test this week. So it's Jared Goff against Matthew Stafford. It really is.
And, by the way, every statistical category on offense, for as good as the Rams are, the Lions are even better.
Puka Nacua, the rookie record. After all those years, he broke the rookie record for receptions. That's why he's in the Pro Bowl, I guess, ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I disagree with, but he is in there.
Another interesting point. This might not mean anything to the people out there, but I just thought this was funny. I was blown away by this, Tom, and you found this. The Lions changed their hashtag.
They did. They went from One Pride,
which has been their hashtag
for years. For years. Now it will be All Grit. All Grit. Hashtag All Grit. And you see the little lion popping up.
How did you come
across
this?
I just found it on Facebook. I found it on Twitter a few times and used it, and it does work.
I wonder if Dan Campbell gets any sort of
royalty
on the grit thing.
Do you see his shirts every week? It's a new shirt. You got Octane.
Because you want to sell more stuff.
Anything he says, villain was huge. Anything that guy says is a T-shirt.
That's why Jim Harbaugh started wearing different clothes on the sidelines.
There you go.
Because remember when he first came to Michigan, he would wear the sweater
and
with the little M, the khakis and the little M in the middle, block M. But then, you start getting Jordan Brand new gear, this, that, and the other thing. You start wearing a new thing every week.
You know what my favorite thing is about Harbaugh? Every time I think of that guy, I just picture him in the weight room. You know when he does his little walk and and he's holding the barbell?
Yeah.
And he's shrugging and walking and shrugging.
Like a deadlift?
Yeah. He cracks me up, that guy. He just really cracks me up.
And you
Please stay.
And you crack me up.
Thanks, buddy.
Brian Baldinger broke down Sam Laporta. I saw this online as well. This is the little things in a game, little things that a player does. I don't know if it's coached like this. I don't know if this is the player.
It's coached.
The player takes it upon himself. Okay, even if it is coached, the player has to sell it. Watch this.
They say sometimes that there's nothing new under the sun. Sometimes you just got to dust plays off. Like this play action pass right here. Goff does a good job of hiding the ball. Vikings bite on it. And there's Laporta with his 10th touchdown catch of the year. How do you get so open? See, sometimes you just got to dust these plays off. The old fake trip fall play. Bam. The old fake trip fall play. 3 Vikings go right by him. He's tripped. He's down. Oh, yeah? Yeah, sometimes you just got to do a little acting. Like that play is as old as dirt, but it still works. It's got to dust it off. Somebody else going to use it this weekend, Super Wild Card weekend, to convert in the red zone?
I said, how the hell did he get so open? In our end zone, by the way. We were there.
Right.
I was hoping he was going to run towards us, but he just stayed there in that back corner. But I'm like, how'd you get open? Look, there you go. That's how you get open.
The old fake trip play.
Yeah. I've done that in the schoolyard. That's how old it is. That's how old it is.
Oh, man. It is so great. Isn't it great to be talking about playoff football right now, too?
Yeah. And then guess what? We get the draft after it's all said and done.
Right.
Usually we're talking draft already.
Right.
This is going to be great. And people forget The draft is here. The draft is here in April. Third weekend in April or fourth weekend. I know it's the 20-some-odd weekend, 22nd, 23rd, around there. I cannot wait. My kids have been asking me for over a year. Honestly, I swear. I got daughters. And they've been asking me, hey, Dad, is the NFL draft free? Can anyone go to it? Hey, you think Woodward Sports can get us some good seats for the NFL draft? I'm just saying, these are what my girls are asking me. They have sold the NFL to everybody.
Right.
My kids love the NFL. They get jealous when they don't get to go to a game with Dad. Like last week, I took Kathy. Well, Maddie's like, Mom, you always get to go to the game. Why can't Dad take me? And sidebar, I really wanted to take Maddie.
The seats were too good.
The seats were too good.
Kathy
wasn't going to turn those down. She was not going to turn those down. Thanks, Chad.
Oh, man. So great. Detroit Dyson on the chat had a good point to make. I hate when some of our fans talk that scared talk. This feels like a scared talk week.
Well, yeah. It's a bad matchup. I mean, it's going to be, if you look right now, and if you're a gambler, you've got to bet the over. Am I wrong?
No.
The over is a slam dunk. If you look at it. But then again, I thought the Dallas Lions
probably go under.
Would be. Yeah. So when it looks too good.
51.5?
Yeah.
So
that's not too high.
It hasn't totally gone up.
No.
It opened at 51, I think.
But if neither team can defend the pass, and you got two quarterbacks that are playing at the top of their game right now, don't you think it's like a 35-34 game? 38-33, whatever the hell you want to pick.
Well, that's what you would think because these two offenses are so good.
They are.
I'm curious to see what kind of pressure the Detroit Lions can. And conversely, you know, what kind of pressure the I almost called them St. Louis Rams, the LA Rams, because guys like Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, these are the best at their position. I mean, this offensive line is built for moments like this as well.
It is.
You know, I mean, you talk about Frank Ragnow going up against Aaron Donald and Penei Sewell going up against Aaron Donald because they move Aaron Donald all over the field, all over the line.
We all remember a couple years ago when Aaron Donald and Penei Sewell hooked up, what happened.
And each week it feels like Ben Johnson dials up something new for these guys.
Yeah.
How is he going to block Aaron Donald? And what are the Detroit Lions offense going to do to get that thing going?
The Lions were voted the top offensive line by Pro Football Focus, but guess who was voted the top offensive lineman, the best, highest graded O-lineman? You got a guess?
I know the answer, so I can't guess.
JB, you got a guess?
I was going to say I know the answer as well, so I can't really say.
Pete, you can put it up. It is none other than Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell, the highest graded offensive lineman in the NFL. Look who is fourth on the list. Frank Ragnow.
I mean,
that's pretty damn good.
It's really good. And when you draft an offensive lineman that high, too, that's what you hope they will be.
Hell yeah.
Right? I mean, otherwise, one of those
Remember how
picks.
excited they were when that pick came up?
Yeah.
You know, and some people were more excited than others.
Yeah, they were excited for a reason. I know you weren't excited at the time. Have you come around?
Well, yeah, you know, I'm happy that he's part of our team.
But you think a gold jacket at linebacker is more impactful than a gold jacket at offensive line?
I don't know. Yeah, that's my guess.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Micah Parsons on this defense, yeah, I think that would have been pretty good.
All right, pretty good. Hey, we'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from the Hamlin Pub.
Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday, that would be tomorrow, or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry-aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the steak shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It is a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear, woodwardsports.com. Click shop. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today, woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab.
All right.
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network.
How you like that?
I love that.
You like that?
Great. Keep that going. Good job. Why'd you stop it then like that?
Because I don't want to cut off the backboard. You know, remember
mate, you got to keep that going and
all
then
right.
do it. Yeah,
well then, hey, here you go.
Let's see your skills again. See? Look at that.
Look at you.
Look at you, and then look at that.
You're really coming along, Pete.
Finish until completion.
If you could only stick a sock in your mouth now, that would be best.
Pause majorly.
A sock?
Yeah.
All right, I guess so.
All right, Tom Mazaway. Let's get around. By the way, Dan Miller going to join us top of the hour. Tom Mazaway, let's go around the NFL.
All right.
We already hit you with big news of the day, but we can recap because we've got a statement.
Pete Carroll, you going to read the statement?
Sure, I can.
Okay. Pete Carroll, obviously, is the big news in the NFL right now. He was let go from the Seattle Seahawks today after 14 seasons, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, should have been 2 if they didn't throw the ball and Malcolm Butler didn't intercept it at the goal line. We all know beast mode should have gotten it, but Pete Carroll gone out of Seattle, right?
This is the statement from Seahawks owner Jody Allen. After thoughtful meetings and careful consideration for the best interest of the franchise, we have amicably agreed with Pete Carroll that his role will evolve from head coach to remain with the organization as an advisor.
Wow.
Pete is the winningest coach in Seahawks history, brought the city its first Super Bowl title, and created a tremendous impact over the past 14 years on the field and in the community. His expertise and leadership of the building championship culture will continue to be an integral part of our organization moving forward. Pete will always be a beloved member of the Seahawks family.
I don't get it. He was the oldest coach in the league, but would anyone have guessed that? No way. When you see Pete Carroll, he's chewing that gum and laughing and talking to the referees from the first damn play. Getting them
running
in
up
his
and down
pocket.
the sidelines,
Yes.
unlike any other coach in the National Football League.
You guys remember when DK Metcalf went in on a visit, a draft visit, and he's all jacked up, and Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll takes his shirt off and gives him the flex as well. I love Pete Carroll. I loved him his whole career. A lot of people say they didn't like him because he ran from USC after the whole Reggie Bush fiasco, losing the Heisman, all that kind of crap. I think Pete Carroll is great for the NFL. I'm going to be sad to not see him on the sidelines.
I'm curious to see if he wants to coach still. I mean, if you're
he's in his 70s.
If you're an organization that so is Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, but he came back for like 2 years. He came back after a sabbatical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but Pete said he wanted to coach. I'm curious to see. I think there's more to the story. I don't think he's done yet. If there's somebody out there that is close.
Oh, man. I would take him over Belichick right now in a minute.
Oh, God, yes.
In a minute.
Not even a discussion. So there's that.
Speaking of teams that did not make the playoffs, the New York Jets are one of them. They own the NFL's longest playoff drought. Look at those teams, right? You got the Jets, followed by the Broncos, and then it is the Falcons and Panthers. Yep. Then you got Washington, the Colts, the Bears, the Saints, and so on down the line. Look at the Patriots. They have missed it in 2 straight years now. 2 straight years missing the playoffs. And you see the Giants and Bengals. Those are the big surprises to me. Vikings, Seahawks, and Chargers missed it from last year to this year. I thought the Bengals and the 49ers was my Super Bowl pick. I'm still sticking with one of those teams, by the way. We can go over our playoff
we could, but
just
stick with this for a minute.
Yeah.
You don't need to see my face. Just look at the things. I don't like seeing my face because I'm not looking at the camera when I'm looking at this.
Right
Thank
up,
you. Very particular.
Pause.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. This is an impressive stat. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and only 4 of them haven't been in the postseason in the last 3 years.
Yep.
You can get good quickly in the NFL. That's what this league is all about. And the Lions, we talk about 67 years, 60-plus years and all this stuff. It's really been 3. You got to give these new guys, the time it took for them.
They had to start over from scratch, from apocalypse.
Right.
That's what Quinn left us.
But if you consider how quickly they turned the Lions around in 3 years, right? I mean, they went from worst franchise in sports to division champions in 3 years.
Fantastic.
This league is set up for you to succeed
It's
quickly.
always been that way. We just have always bucked the trend. I've told you that a million times.
That is an impressive stat. Like, give me the stats.
Next year with Aaron Rodgers, do you think the Jets make the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, look at this, guys. He has been cut off from the Pat McAfee show.
Get out of here.
For the remaining part of this regular season. Pat McAfee has bent over.
When did
ESPN.
this happen?
It happened at about 1:30 this afternoon.
I did not hear about this.
Yep. So, yes, Pat McAfee has bent over and taken one for the team and throwing Aaron Rodgers under the bus, who probably threw himself under the bus, if you're asking me, because I think that's the kind of guy Aaron Rodgers is. I know everyone here in this chat disagrees with me. They hate his guts. I'm just telling you, he told Pat, look, I'll just bow out. Let it be. That's my prediction.
I'm curious to know how Pat McAfee fans will react to that. Pat McAfee has some of the, what's the word? Like
loyal
fans. And I think Pat McAfee was attacked by those loyal fans when he went to ESPN in the first place.
Yeah. We all did. We all said, what the hell is he doing? The money is there, but he had money.
Well,
FanDuel was paying him a lot of money.
Yeah, but
he wanted to stay on College Game Day. ESPN probably gave him an ultimatum. You come over, you share your stuff with us. We watch the curse words. You got to do A, B, C, and D, but you get to stay on College Game Day. You're still going to make money. We're still going to take care of your people.
So I have an interesting relationship with this because for Pat McAfee was really good. Okay?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers made him great.
Yeah, he did.
Aaron Rodgers.
That was must-see TV, must-see YouTube.
The reason that Pat McAfee, and you can disagree with me all you want, you can hate Aaron Rodgers all you want. Pat McAfee was here. Aaron Rodgers took him off the charts.
He did.
When it was, 2021?
When he was in the cave and came out of the cave, that was the most watched Pat McAfee in history. I forgot how many people tuned in to that.
Over 1 million people live?
Or when he was going to make his move and go to the Jets.
Or over 100,000 people live?
It even beat that one.
Right.
The guy gets eyeballs. He does.
And I don't want to say he made Pat McAfee. That is not accurate. But it is accurate that his appearances put Pat McAfee from podcast to next level media.
Yes. I believe that's why ESPN went after him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took it to ESPN levels. They're like, wow, he gets everybody. He's got Nick Saban. He's got Aaron Rodgers. He can get anybody. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter. He gets everyone we get. Why not just make him part of the family?
Cody Reed says J.J. Watt is better on the show than Aaron. Cody Reed, I'm not saying that's not true, but
I'm not tuning in for J.J. Watt.
Nobody is tuning in because J.J. Watt is on the show.
Facts.
Nobody. J.J. Watt's appearances on the Pat McAfee show don't do 1/10 of the appearances that Aaron Rodgers does. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Like, you spewing whatever, you could whatever. It's not my business. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers took Pat McAfee from a niche podcast to ESPN.
They paid Aaron Rodgers $1 million, like they paid Nick Saban, $1 million to come on and speak for a half an hour a week. That's a good gig. For him to do that, that tells me that ESPN and him are not long for each other. At the end of this football season, it's a divorce. After the Super Bowl, it's a divorce.
I'm curious, and I don't watch McAfee, but the only time I see McAfee is when it's an Aaron Rodgers clip.
Yeah.
Or a
football guy that we're paying attention to the NFL.
Well, see, I don't, because I go to Colin.
I love Colin.
Colin is on Fox Sports 1 at that same time that McAfee is on ESPN. So right at 12 o'clock, my TV is switching over.
I got you.
To Colin. I just think it's much more my speed.
It's a smarter show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the smartest shows in sports media.
It's my favorite.
I really do.
It's my favorite sports talk show. I like Get Up as well.
Yeah.
I like Greeny.
Greeny's good.
I
love Greeny. Greeny's good.
I'm mad what happened with him and Golick.
I know. I hate that.
I still like Greeny though.
I hate that. And Nick says, Ermanni, this is Boomer talk now. McAfee was huge before Rodgers. I'll tell you, he wasn't. He might have been huge in your own little world. He might have been huge in that realm of podcasts. But it was Aaron Rodgers that took the Pat McAfee show from a sports podcast to next level media, to the fact where Pat McAfee has become so big that he could do the unthinkable. He could take on ESPN management, something that no other ESPN
he called him out
personality in the history of ESPN could ever do without losing their job. And they came out with a statement and apologized. And it was those 3 years of Rodgers' appearances that have done that. Every clip you saw from the McAfee show was a clip when Aaron Rodgers was a guest.
Yes.
And you may hate Aaron Rodgers. I have said on this show a million times, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
Not me.
You hate... Oh, no, you were always an Aaron Rodgers guy, not a Brady guy. But you got to call... If Braylon was here, you got to call a spade.
Yep.
And that's what it is.
You know who I'm liking now? Again?
Who?
I'm re-liking Rich Eisen.
Well, because of the Michigan stuff?
I just think he's become more down to earth. Before, I thought he was more of a showboat kind of guy, a look at me kind of guy. But I like his show lately, and I like what it helps that he likes Michigan and the Lions.
And can I say one thing about the McAfee show? And when I was getting my haircut, the McAfee show was on. Serious question. AJ Hawk is the co-host, right?
Yeah.
I have never in my life seen AJ Hawk say any words.
No. He's there with a cigar. He's just there to be like a yes man. He's like,
I swear to God.
He is Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson.
No, I swear to God. I've never seen AJ Hawk actually say anything. He just sits there.
Yeah. He says very little.
And he don't even smile and nod. He just sits there. And you've got McAfee talking. You've got the 8 other guys that he's got. And whoever the guest is in the middle. He is literally a statue.
You're right. That's a great thing.
That is the best job in sports media.
AJ Hawk, congratulations.
Who's he paying attention? I was trying to be a statue.
Oh, sorry.
Who's he the brother-in-law of?
Who? Brady Quinn.
BQ and Hawk?
Yeah.
Wow.
I found AJ Hawk's picture here. Hang on.
I mean,
is he a statue?
Oh, God.
Oh, Pete.
No, Thomas Gage, or he says Ermanni has literally never watched the show. I don't watch the show, but it's always on, and it's like, it's always on. It's on when I'm getting a haircut. I see the clips every now and again.
We have it on here in the studio.
Yeah.
We have ESPN on.
Show me a clip where and nobody watches shows anymore either. They just see clips, right?
Yep.
You don't watch the 2-hour show.
I don't have time
You see
for
the
that.
clip.
That's it.
They
watch Dan Miller, though.
Listen, 5,000 people will watch our show today. 30,000 people will watch our Dan Miller clip.
Correct.
It's the way this thing works. And we'll get to Dan Miller next because less us, more
you.
Dan.
More
We'll do
Dan.
that next. But first, a message from Feldman.
Yes, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With more than 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. And remember, you can always catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, guys, let me tell you about Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do is visit the Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue. You walk in, and they have individually vacuum-packed cuts of meat that you could just open the fridge, grab it, and that's it. Invite you to have a pregame Lions meal on Sunday. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. They ship next day. Guys, let's talk about it. The first ever playoff game at Ford Field on Sunday. Lions and Rams. Dan Miller, the voice of the Detroit Lions, Fox 2 sports director. And again, you can watch us every day on the Fox local app if you download that app on your smart TV, your Roku, your Fire Stick, all that good stuff. You can watch us there. Fox Local, just pick the Detroit feed. Dan Miller joins us. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Dan.
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Got it. Sorry.
What's up, boys?
You, baby. I mean, I don't know if I can wait till Sunday night. How are you feeling about it?
Oh man, it's days are crawling. I'll tell you that. It's. I think I woke up this morning like, man, it's just Wednesday. So it definitely is. Look, we've all looked forward to this. We've all. I've dreamed about it. I'll tell you, I've driven down the road just thinking about calling a playoff game at Ford Field and what it would be like with these fans packing that place and going nuts and. Just the opportunity to be able to do that and to see these fans get the payoff that they've deserved for a long time, to have that kind of show at Ford Field downtown. It's, yeah, man. I mean, it's. I'm just looking forward to it, and I can't wait. And yes, it feels like time is moving pretty slowly at this point.
Dan, I wrote Thursday today on the rundown. Pete had to tell me, Maz, it's Wednesday. So I cannot
It's just
wait.
wishful thinking right there.
I can't wait, man, because it was been bowling night as well. That would have made it even better.
Hey, Dan, what was your first reaction to watching the Rams and the San Francisco 49er game?
That Broadway show?
Yeah. I hate the fact that they're playing the Rams for a number of different reasons, but what do you make of that?
Yeah, you know what? I was kind of torn because I wasn't looking forward to the storylines. I wasn't looking forward to this week being all about, Stafford, Goff, and all that stuff, and reliving all that and reading the stories about revenge this, revenge that, and all that stuff. I kind of didn't want to deal with that. Now that we're in it, it's fine, whatever. But, I'll be honest with you kind of got to be careful what you're wishing for, because Green Bay's really playing well right now. And not that the Rams aren't. They are. They've won 7 out of 8. But what you come down to is this, Ryan, there's nothing easy right now. There's not one team that you'd look at in these playoffs and say, hey, I'd really like to be playing them. So it is just everybody got here for a reason. Everybody is capable of winning. And I kind of looked at it and, it was hard to wrap your arms around two teams that are playing with mostly backups, and it was what it was. But, more so I was kind of locked into that Dallas-Washington game, although you got locked out pretty quick when you realized that Washington just didn't have much in the way of gas left at that point. But, look, this is it. We're here. We wanted to be here. We're not going to quibble over who we're playing, so let's get this thing going.
As far as a matchup goes, is it that Rams passing offense against the Lions pass defense, is that the matchup that everybody's going to point to here?
100%. That's what I'm looking at. Look, I think our offense can move against their defense. I think I would feel pretty good about our offense against anybody's defense. I have that much confidence in those guys with that offensive line up front. Where I have pause about this game and where my eye goes directly is you look at what's happened over the last 3 weeks, and it's really been more than that, but just take the last 3 weeks. Jefferson has lit us up. CeeDee Lamb lit us up. We've been able to endure that against the Vikings. Didn't endure it against Dallas, although there's some ancillary stuff involved. But no, I think if you look at what they can do with Nakua and Kupp and Stafford, we know how good he is throwing the football. It's their strength against our weakness right now, which is stopping the chunk passing plays. They're just giving up too many of those, and you're going to have to figure out some way to slow that thing down on Sunday, or this is going to be an absolute shootout, and it's going to be every possession is going to, be one that you have to score on. It could turn into that kind of game if the Lions can't slow that Rams offense down. Let me say this. It's also about that Rams running game, because Williams has been really good, and he's given them balance. The Lions need to try to take that balance away. They've done a great job of that this year. They need to do it again this week.
Dan, what about, you talk about that pass defense, and I know each game is different. Each matchup is unique to its own individual game, but I'll tell you, Nick Mullins threw for 400 yards last week. That's something tough to see.
Boy, he's thrown for 802 games against the Lions.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, in the first game, he threw a bunch of interceptions. And in the second game, they got some at the end. You have to hope that you can get it away from Stafford a little bit. But no, Ryan, I mean, that's the point, is the Lions are having a tough time stopping people right now. And, you had CeeDee Lamb go for over 200, although 92 was in one play. It's still a pretty good game, even if you take the 92 away. So I think that's to me what I'm going to be keeping an eye on early in this game. Now, we know Stafford's not mobile. He's economical with his movement, and he can get away from a pass rush. But the Lions have fared better against quarterbacks that don't run around back there than they have against guys that can. So that might be something that plays into their favor. But somebody besides Aiden has to step up in that front. If it's Aline, if it's Onzarike, if it's Pascal, if it's Romeo, whoever it is, somebody else has got to apply pressure. We know what we're going to get from Aiden. We know what he's going to do. They need other guys to step up and be a factor in this game in trying to make Stafford uncomfortable back there.
Dan, do you see guys, we know Laporta is going to be iffy. We'll know more on Friday. We heard Dan Campbell earlier today from Allen Park. Do you think they suit him up anyway? Do you think Brock Wright is active? They didn't go after Zach Ertz or anyone like that. They weren't going to do that. How about James Houston? Do you see all these guys playing? Who sits out? Jamison Williams, is the bubble wrap off him?
Maz wanted Ertz, by the way, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Maz is like, I'm telling you, 4 years, $28 million, it'll get it done. But no, I think, look, I wasn't at practice today. I want to see what comes out after practice. It sounded like, based on what I heard, that Brock Wright is going, that J-Mo is practicing, so it seems like J-Mo is going to be all right. Campbell indicated that earlier in the week. We'll have to see what's going on with Houston. I know Campbell said basically he's gotten better week to week. Didn't feel that optimistic just reading the tea leaves about where he was at and if they felt like he was ready. We'll have to wait and see on that a couple days. And then Laporta, look, they said he went through walkthrough today. We'll see what kind of grade they put on him after practice. Is he limited? Is he out? Does he take part in anything out there? That'll be the question. And then probably more so if he does get any action today, how does he react tomorrow? How does he react Friday? And this will probably be something that goes into Friday. If they get a definitive answer there, great. If not, then it may go into Saturday or Sunday before they know. But I know it's probably just 24-hour treatment, trying to get that thing right, doing everything they can, but also watching how he reacts to any sort of movement, action, and if he can handle that.
Okay, well, Khalif Raymond out. Pretty much he's not going to be playing in this game. Do you think it's Craig Reynolds, or do you think they unwrap a surprise and put Jamison Williams back there?
Well, I think, Reynolds has been handling the kickoffs. I think the question is the punts. And I asked Campbell on Monday if that would be DPJ, and he said they were still talking about it, but that's certainly a candidate. I get the sense that it might be him. Amon-Ra's a guy that we've seen back there before in practice and certainly is sure-handed when it comes to fielding punts. But look, Donovan Peoples-Jones, pretty good punt returner now. Yeah. And he can make some things happen back there, and he's done that in this league before. So the biggest thing I think that you want if you're Campbell or Dave Phipp and you're back there is you need ball security, man.
Yeah.
You need somebody that you can trust. Now, you're indoors. That's a plus. You're not outdoors with the wind blowing. But you have got to have ball security that somebody's going to secure that punt, and you're not going to lose a possession because somebody muffs one back there. So we'll see what happens. My hunch is DPJ, but let's wait and see on that one. And I would say Amon-Ra might be a dark horse, and maybe there's somebody else that they're thinking. But those are the guys that come to mind for me.
So J-Mo's out on those.
I don't know. I just haven't
particulars.
seen J-Mo really work punts that often. So I maybe if they got a kickoff return at some point, they might want to do that. But I just don't know that I don't know that that's something that I've seen even in practice a lot of with J-Mo working back there. I know what Donovan Peoples-Jones' history is and what he's done, and the fact that he's got a track record of doing it in this league. I've seen Amon-Ra catch punts. He's rock solid back there. So those, like I said, are the first two guys that come to mind. Look, at some point, we've talked about seeing, Jamison back on a kickoff or something like that just to see if you can spring something. But haven't seen it yet. But look, you never know.
Exactly.
Hey, Dan, bigger game for Jared Goff or bigger game for Matthew Stafford?
I think Goff. I think Stafford's got a ring. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off when you've got that. And I think, look, Goff, it didn't end well in Los Angeles, okay? They decided that Goff wasn't the guy to get it done. Anybody would feel that, and I'm sure Jared Goff felt that. Now, to Jared's credit, he came in here and endured a lot. That first year he was here was brutal, man. He didn't have much around him. The team wasn't winning. The team he left was doing nothing but winning. The guy that replaced him was probably the MVP through the first half of the season and went on to win a Super Bowl. And Jared has been through a lot, and I think he's come out the other side. I go back to our training camp show, and we were sitting on the field, and Birchie asked him what he had learned about himself over the 3 years, and Jared, and I'm paraphrasing here, said, I think he said I could do an hour on that. He said, but two things that come to mind. He said, sometimes the thing you think is the worst in the world is the best thing in the world. And I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was.
I remember that.
Those things always kind of resonate with me as really telling about what he's been through and where he is now that he's been through it and come out the other side. So look, in my mind, it's a bigger game for Goff. It is a team that has waited decades to have this opportunity at home. It's a team that hasn't won a playoff game since 1991. All due respect to Matthew, and this is a compliment more than anything else, he's got a ring. Once you get that, you want more, but it does take a lot of the pressure off of your career being defined by not having one. I mean, so yes, I think if you look at the world of who still needs something more and which franchise needs something more right now, This is a bigger game for the Lions and a bigger game for Jared Goff. Now, everybody in LA will tell you they want to win this just as much as the Lions, but they've won. They've been to the highest mountaintop. They've done it. So, look, the Lions are trying to get back to relevance and trying to get back to being a team that people look at and say they're a perennial contender. The Rams have been there, and the Rams have done that. So I think for those reasons, I would say the Lions. But look, I say that knowing that everybody connected with the Rams was there. Oh, this is huge for us. It's massive. And it is. It's the playoffs, man. This is where everybody wants to be, and they want to win another Super Bowl.
Dan, I said yesterday that the 2024 opponents came out, and the Rams come to Ford Field next year. If you want to cheer for Matthew Stafford, do it pregame next year. I thought that everybody
videos.
If you're going to this playoff game, you need to boo him like crazy. How should the fans react Sunday night to Matthew Stafford?
Man, I've been asked that. I've never had a fuller schedule of people wanting me to do radio interviews in this week, and I think in every one, they have asked me, what's the fan reaction going to be? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't. And here's what I'll tell you. If they boo him, it's not going to be because they dislike Matthew Stafford.
Right.
I think everybody in Detroit respects Matthew Stafford and appreciates what Matthew Stafford did here and what he went through here. Because while you can put some of this on him, a lot of it was on people failing around him as well. I'm not saying he doesn't shoulder some of the blame, because as a player with the football in his hands, he does. But they didn't build a good team around him. They never gave him a running game. More often than not, the defense was lacking, and he had to try to keep up. So I think people appreciate what he did here. Look, I wrote this on Twitter, and it's gotten a lot of play. And it's not an anti-Matthew thing. It is about the Lions and Jared Goff. This is not about Matthew Stafford coming back. Jared Goff's got a story. And his story is probably more of a want to get back and show people than Stafford's ever was. Because Stafford asked to get out of here. And Stafford was traded to a good team. Goff was ushered out and traded to a lousy team. And has fought like hell to bring that team back. So, look. Nothing I've said this week has been anti-Matthew. It's been pro-Lions and pro-Jared Goff. But I don't know what the reception will be, Ryan, and I'm not going to tell anybody how to receive him. But whatever it is, it's going to be based on the fact that he plays for the Rams now. Yeah. Maybe there'll be some cheers because of what he did here. But anything negative, and I think it'll be pretty negative after he runs on the field the first time. Maybe he gets cheered. I don't even know. I don't even know how to process that. But here's the bottom line. He plays for the Rams. Jared Goff plays for the Lions.
Amen. How about the coordinators, Dan? There's going to be a lot of jobs opening. One open today. Seattle lets Pete Carroll walk out the door. Tennessee lets Mike Vrabel walk out the door. Everybody wants to interview Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Do you think we lose both coordinators at the end of the year?
I think there's a good shot. I really do, because I think they'll both present extremely well in meetings and look like head coaches when they sit down with owners and general managers and things like that. And the more openings, obviously, the better chance. I think some of these openings are better than others. I don't know that necessarily you take one if you don't feel like it's the right spot, like Carolina. I think a lot of people are wary of that place because of the owner. But I just think they're both ready. And Aaron Glenn, you can say, well, the defense has been kind of spotty, and they have. But I also think that the talent that he's been given to work with at times has been tough. And, even this year, that second cornerback position, which is hurting us right now, was supposed to be Emmanuel Mosley. They were supposed to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson for a full season. This isn't the defense that they necessarily thought that they would have. So, look, I've been around those guys. I think if you just kind of play in your mind when they sit down and try to conduct themselves as head coaches, and people across the table are trying to envision them being their lead guy, I think it's an easy step for the other people to make, to say, yeah, I could see Aaron Glenn leading this franchise and being the face of it. And yeah, I can see Ben Johnson doing it as well. I think they've both put in their time. I think they're both great candidates, and I think there's an excellent chance that both of them could be gone.
All right, Dan, here we go. Around the league. Browns at the Houston Texans.
You know, he's got a show at 5 o'clock.
Who do you like? Browns, Texans.
I'll take the Browns with that. I'll take the Browns with that defense. I just think, yeah, I'll say Browns with that defense. And you know what? That's going to be another interesting one.
It is a good one.
Schwartz get a look this year.
Oh, yeah.
He's done with that Cleveland defense. We were talking about that in the office the other night. Does Jim Schwartz get another look this year?
Titans. I could see the Titans back with him. Didn't he come from there?
Great history there, yeah. He was a defensive coordinator there. He's had 2 stops there.
Dolphins at the Chiefs in 0 degrees.
Wow, Chiefs. So I'm not betting against Mahomes in that kind of weather, and you know it's kind of a prove-it game for the Dolphins. They let it get away by not winning that game against Buffalo to close the season, but Chiefs in that weather with Mahomes.
Steelers at Orchard Park against the Bills.
Maz promises to get you on the air by 10 p.m. tonight.
Packers at the Packers at the Cowboys.
My heart says Packers because I'd love for the Lions to take the field on Sunday night, knowing if they win, they got a home playoff game. But Dallas is tough to beat at home. I would take Dallas, but I'm telling you, if Jordan Love handles the lights and handles the stage, watch that game.
Yes.
The Packers are playing really well right now.
Cancel that 11 p.m.
I'll be on my way to Ford Field at that point. And Eagles at the Buccaneers Monday Night Football.
I just think Philadelphia will recover. You know what? Here's the thing, though. There's so many times, guys, in sports that we keep expecting teams to bounce back and recover, and it doesn't happen. And then it's over, and we go, wow, they really were real in there. And that's kind of, I think, the question Philadelphia has to answer. It's tough to go on the road, but they're the better team. Question is, can they play like it?
Enjoy the game this week, Dan.
Wait, I'm not done.
No, you are done. Enjoy the game this week.
Thanks,
Tell
Dan.
Greg Canner.
He's got Michigan's schedule for next year. We're gonna run through that.
How about those Wolverines,
2024.
Wow.
Thanks, Dan.
You got
Harbaugh
enough
State
of that
or
with the guy next to you.
We'll see you. Enjoy the game.
You didn't let me get my Harbaugh staying or going question.
No, we can talk to him next week about Harbaugh staying or going. That's great stuff there. Guys, obviously I'm way over for a break, so let's go there. We'll regroup and come back. But first, another message from Swiss.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have football on the brain like us? Well, of course you do. This college football season was amazing, and the NFL season is winding down. But you know what you can't wind down on? Shopping your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Over here, JB.
Hey, let me tell you about Guardian Alarm as well. As Pete just told it, we're over here. We're over here.
Stay
Guardian
out.
Alarm, your local security
Stay
experts
out.
that have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of the house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Lions fans, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. After 30 years, the playoffs are here in Detroit. Join us for the Ultimate Lions VIP Tailgate this Sunday, hosted by the Bullseye Event Group and that Lion as well, and sponsored by Long Drink, as the Lions take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Food, music, excitement, and a chance to witness history. Let's roar together down at Eastern Market. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com to get your tickets today. Over to Ryga.
Hey, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Ollie Rita's there too, right?
Woodward Sports Network. Yes, he is on a Wednesday in Detroit. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards is going to be back tomorrow. Flight out of Houston got canceled. Had to fly to Florida. Then he's coming home. So he'll be here tomorrow. Tom Masway on the big desk. We got JB. We got Pete Spivak. And we've got our predictions. Maz just went through his playoff questions and Dan Miller's first round.
Correct.
Upsets and winners. So you want to go first or do you want me to go?
It's up to you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, here's my playoff picture. Here's what I've got. Who made this? Great job, whoever made it. JB, thank you. So we'll start on the NFC. I've got the Dallas Cowboys beating the Green Bay Packers in round one. The Lions beating the LA Rams. The Eagles over the Bucks. So then you've got the 49ers facing the lowest remaining seed, which in this case is the Philadelphia Eagles. 49ers beating the Eagles. Lions. I think the Lions, if they go back to Dallas and have to play in a divisional round, that is an absolute lock. They will win in Dallas in round two and get to the NFC Championship game. I am more concerned about this game at home against the Rams than I am in round two at Dallas. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
It does.
I do have the Lions losing to the San Francisco 49ers on the West Coast, and San Francisco representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. On the AFC side, I've got the Bills over the Steelers. The Dolphins, I don't know why I'm picking the Dolphins. I just feel like there should be an upset somewhere in here. I can't go chalk throughout. So I'm going Dolphins over the Chiefs, and I'm going Browns over the Texans. So the Browns as the lowest remaining seed. I've screwed this up completely. I screwed this up entirely.
How'd you do that?
Because the Dolphins would play as the lowest remaining seed.
Correct.
The Dolphins would play the Ravens. So
you still have the Ravens
Forget
winning.
about the graphic. I've got the Ravens beating the Dolphins and the Bills beating the Browns. Then the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore in the AFC Championship game. I've got the Bills beating the Ravens and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. I said if the Bills get in, they're my Super Bowl pick. So here you have it. Bills, Niners in the Super Bowl. And I have, for the first time ever, the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl.
Nice. It's a good story.
There you go.
You picked them a few weeks ago, and you're sticking with it.
I'm sticking with the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Ready for mine?
Let's go.
Are we going NFC first or AFC?
Well, however they did it.
All right, let's go. We got it both ways. I'll start in the AFC.
Pause.
The Saturday games. The Cleveland Browns at the Texans. Now, think about this, guys.
Okay.
You know how the NFL scripts everything out? This should have been Deshaun Watson at the Texans. A rematch How about that? Against his own team. But there's no Deshaun Watson. Instead, you got Joe Flacco. I love Joe Flacco, especially in the playoffs. I'm taking the Browns to beat the Texans. The Dolphins are in frigid weather.
Frigid.
I don't see them beating the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs to hold serve against Miami. And the third game of the AFC is the Buffalo Bills against the Steelers. That one should be a walkthrough. Although I think it's going to be closer than the 13-point spread. I'll take the Bills in that one. So that suits up then. Of course, you got the bye week for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens would then take on the lowest remaining seed, which would be the Cleveland Browns. So that's the old Browns against the new Browns. Because you remember, the Baltimore Ravens was the original Cleveland Browns. I got the Ravens knocking off the Browns. I got the Bills at the Chiefs. Chiefs will be on the road. They'll be at Buffalo. And I got Kansas City making a win. I got Kansas City knocking out Buffalo, which would bring in Kansas City at Baltimore.
Wow.
Kansas City will go on the road for a second straight week, and the Baltimore Ravens will hold serve. Remember this, I picked the Bengals to come out of that Central Division, the north of the AFC now. So now that the Bengals are out, I got to get on the Ravens train. Takes us to the NFC. We'll start it off with the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys.
We have the exact same NFC.
Give me the Cowboys.
You know what that means?
Then nothing's
This
happening.
ain't happening.
Cowboys to hold serve against the Packers. I got the Lions to beat the Rams by a touchdown, and I got the Eagles to make a comeback after the way they finished this season, and I got them beating the Buccaneers on the road. That takes us to the following week. The Philadelphia Eagles, the lowest seed remaining, will go to San Francisco. The 49ers will get a rematch from the NFC Championship and knock the hell out of the Philadelphia Eagles. That takes the, of course, Lions to go to Jerry's World and play the Cowboys. And give me the Lions to beat the Cowboys in overtime to win that game. How about that? We're going to overtime again, and the Lions are going to beat them. But then it ends, unfortunately, for our Lions at the 49ers. Today, the anniversary of Dwight Clark's The Catch. That's right, today in 1982. Of course, they'd go on to win the Super Bowl against the Bengals. Where? In the Pontiac Silverdome, when it was a brand new baby stadium. 49ers and the Ravens. 49ers ain't getting beat. The Niners, all the way with chalk this year, will win the Super Bowl.
So you got Niners over Ravens. I've got Bills over Niners. But I think we both have, we have the same exact NFC card. And it does appear right now that there's no better team in the league than the San Francisco 49ers.
And the Ravens kicked their tail in.
Right.
People forget that.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, the Ravens had something for the 49ers in Santa Clara. But I'm still taking the Niners in a rematch of the Super Bowl. And what were the two colors at the beginning of the year? If you put the Super Bowl logo
purple and
up,
red, right?
It is purple and red. And people laugh about that. They went back a few years and they found a couple of matchups. This is a year that the NFL really scripted out. I believe 100% scripted out. Ever since the Lions fell at the Cowboys when they stole that game, you knew we were playing the Rams. There's no way around it. San Francisco had a 17-point lead in that game, and they lost. Come on, man.
If you look and here's a question for the chat, if the chat wants to get involved in this too. If you look at the NFL playoffs in its entirety, who has more at stake than anybody else? Who has the most pressure on them to win a Super Bowl? I'm not talking about winning a playoff game.
I get it.
I'm talking about winning a Super Bowl.
I think the Cowboys.
I was going to say one of two guys. It's either Dak or Lamar, right?
Yeah. Lamar's won one playoff game, and it was ugly. Let's see what he can do with a week off, 2 weeks off, coming back fresh.
I think Dak's only won one playoff game too, hasn't he?
That I don't remember.
I think so.
I mean,
you're probably right. Remember they came up short against the Niners when they tried to spike the ball,
and then
they ran out of time.
And then you look at a team like San Francisco because, look, they're not going to be paying their quarterback $875,000 forever.
Correct.
How much pressure do the San Francisco 49ers have to seal the deal here as well and win a Super Bowl with that loaded team before you got to start paying the quarterback.
But they're playing with house money, man.
Are they?
Yeah, they're playing with house money.
2 wins.
2 wins for Dak Prescott. So I think it's Dak. I think it's Lamar. And I think this is a big playoff for Josh Allen, too.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that.
I think Josh Allen absolutely has to at least win 2 games.
I think they have the least pressure on them of all the years that the Bills have been in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
No one's really picking the Bills except now everyone's getting on the train again.
They're the highest favorite of the wild card weekend.
Yes.
They're a double-digit
they're playing the freaking Steelers.
Exactly. Steelers shouldn't even be in.
No, but you know what? I think the Steelers cover that spread. I do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know anything about that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
It doesn't matter, really.
It doesn't matter.
I think the Bills beat them.
This time of year. But I think then if it's Mahomes against Josh Allen again, I think Josh Allen has to win that game because that will be in Buffalo. Yeah,
no better chance to do it than this year. Kansas City is not 100% anymore. They're not the old Chiefs anymore.
In the 3 quarterbacks that we mentioned, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, none of them are in any danger of being replaced next year, right? So it's almost kind of a silly argument to make who has more at stake. They've all gotten paid. They will all return to their teams next year. So it's a silly argument. It's almost a silly conversation from that standpoint.
Yeah. Well, look at the Houston Texans. They talk about a team with nothing to lose. The Houston Texans have 0 to lose. And we both picked the Browns. So did Dan. The Houston Texans could easily beat the Cleveland Browns on the opening game of the weekend. I cannot wait. I love the Saturday playoff games. Cannot wait for that one. So they don't have any pressure on them. The Chiefs, they have 0 pressure on them. They're a 2-time Super Bowl champ out of the last 3 years. The Dolphins, no one really expects anything out of them anyway. The Steelers, they won a Super Bowl in the last 15 years, right? The Buffalo Bills, they're 0 for 4. The Dallas Cowboys, they haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl 30. Super Bowl 30. This is Super Bowl 58. 28 years for the Dallas Cowboys. Am I wrong on that?
28 years
Am
for
I
the
wrong?
Dallas
Is
Cowboys.
30 the last Dallas Super Bowl?
95, right?
They beat it was in Arizona. They beat the Steelers. I'm almost sure.
That was 95, I
Double
believe.
check me, guys, on that. Yeah, that was 95.
The 95 season, yeah.
Yes, that was the 95 season.
And 96 Super Bowl,
Yep.
95 season.
Everyone knows the Rams. They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They know the Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. There's no pressure on them at all. The Buccaneers won a Super Bowl with Brady. The Philadelphia Eagles almost won a Super Bowl last year and won one with a backup quarterback just a few years ago. It's the Dallas Cowboys with the house on their back.
You got it. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's Wolverine Wednesday. We'll be joined by Intern Alex, who is in Houston. By the way, update for Braylon. He just did get back. He's going to get his bags and get back home. He'll be here tomorrow.
I predict the bags will be lost.
No, stop it.
No, I'm just saying.
But first, a message from Big Boy.
Oh, Big Boy. Wintertime and Big Boy is always better with comfort foods, of course, from Big Boy. Try the veal parmigiano, the Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, and your breakfast. Start off with a great day. The stuffed potato pancakes and those great omelets are back. The classic lumberjack, the Santa Fe garden omelet, as well as the apple pie hotcakes. And end your meal with a shake. I could go for one right now. Gingerbread shake is still there at your local Big Boy.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Jack Labrador. That's right, the new game that's taken over for the old rock, paper, scissors game. Look at this beautiful box it comes in. It's outstanding. $20 was a great stocking stuffer. Now it could be a great birthday gift, anniversary gift, or if you just want to be nice to one of your friends, you get them one of these games. $20, that's all you got to do. It's two new symbols on that rock, paper, scissors game, and of course a 3-point play, brand new to this one. Now I've been telling you the website, you know it. It's jacklabrador.gg. jacklabrador.gg. Get on there. You could play the game right there online. Click on that QR code and get yourself one. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Hey guys, it is time now for our weekly segment with our good friend Intern Alex, one of the most knowledgeable Michigan football fans that there is out there. This is Wolverine Wednesday, brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. Alex was in Houston. He is back in Ann Arbor now. Alex, first of all, great to see you. Absolutely, congratulations on the win as well. Talk to me about how you feel about this. Sorry, is he still there? Oh, sorry. Okay, Alex, just talk to me about how you feel, buddy.
I feel fantastic right now. Usually I was thinking this time of the year, I'm reflecting on the bowl game, which, usually isn't great for Michigan historically. I'm thinking about what we need to do to get ahead and beat Ohio State next year. But it's almost like a sense of enlightenment has washed over me, because for once, we're at the top of the mountain. You can just sit here and enjoy the view for a few moments and just kind of really reflect on us finally being the best team undisputed in the country.
What was it like in Houston? It felt like that was just an absolute home game for Michigan.
It did. Washington had this one small corner of the stadium where it was really just all purple and gold. But then the Michigan side, there were no Washington fans at all. Both upper decks were pretty much all Michigan. And then for a lot of the Washington allotment, it felt like there was almost half Michigan fans there. So it really was a Michigan strong and heavy crowd down there in Houston.
Alex, how much confetti did you bring home with you from the stadium? Did you get to go on the field at all? I know you had great seats. The Michigan alums were there, and you kids got great seats, man. End zone. I was looking for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Liv Moss student section was awesome. For once I wanted to Liv Moss instead of Menos out there in the student section at the playoff. But it was great. Brought home some confetti, no field access. This isn't a home game, can't storm the field. But hey, who cares? Getting to feel the confetti fall on you and finally just relish in being national championships is all you can ask for.
Hey, was there a better quarter that you've watched as a Michigan fan than that first quarter when Donovan Edwards ran those 2 long touchdowns in to give them the lead 17-0?
Me personally, that was great feeling. My hatred for Ohio State exceeds almost everything except my Michigan fandom. So I'm personally still going to go with that fourth quarter in 2022 when Donovan Edwards had those 2 other long runs, just bury them and send their season home.
Now, to me, he was the MVP of the game. Look, I got no issues with Blake Corum getting it.
I kind of agree with you there.
To me, Donovan Edwards was
changed the whole game.
He won that game for them because they played from the front.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was, one could argue, it was a bit of a makeup call from, Blake Corum getting robbed of Rose Bowl game offensive MVP. But at the end of the day, Corum still had more carries, more yards, and the same amount of touchdowns as Donovan Edwards. And for him being the Michigan legend he is, I'm okay with him getting that final thing and almost letting it be like a season-long offensive MVP award.
Talking to Intern Alex, this is Wolverine Wednesdays, brought to you by our good friends at Skinny Butcher. Alex, were you at Schembechler Hall last night? Did you hear about all of the rallies and the one more year for JJ? What do you make of that? And then Sharon Moore comes up and he's like, yeah. He wanted the crowd to keep going.
Yeah, I was there. I was one of the people chanting loud and clear for one more year for JJ. Would absolutely love to have him come back, but I feel the same way about both JJ and Harbaugh. They've done so much for this program. It would be such a storybook ending where I'd obviously love to have them back very much next year, so much. But at the end of the day, they've done so much for us. I cannot be mad if they leave for bringing us a national championship.
How about Donovan? Donovan Edwards. How about the Don? Can he come back for another year?
He could. It's going to be interesting. He didn't have the best season. Talked about, some lack of confidence issues and all that. Showed burst again, so it'll be cool to see this offseason. I really do hope he comes back. I think, though, Michigan will be in a good spot next year. We're going to lose a lot, but we're still going to field a great team and be able to go out there and beat Ohio State.
Hey, the defensive MVP, Will Johnson, played himself a hell of a game. And when they did get back, he got up on that. I forgot where he was. I think we have the call, don't we, Pete? We got Will Johnson?
Yeah, hang on.
Well, anyway, you don't have to play it.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Here's Will Johnson after the Michigan win.
Up right there. In his cowboy hat, straight out of Houston, holding the national championship trophy, the defensive MVP, Will Johnson. All I gotta say is we love you guys. Appreciate all your support. Go Blue, we're gonna run it back next year.
Hey, thanks to Bryce Marich on X for that cut. He said we're gonna run it back again. Can they run it back with this tougher Big Ten and that schedule?
Next year expectations are going to be slightly different. I think the offense is not going to be able to perform at as high functioning as it will this year, most likely, unless we see some great return from JJ and all that. But the defense is going to be elite next year. We're returning Johnson, Graham, Grant. We have Keon Saab, who played amazing in the national championship game. Next year's Michigan defense will be elite, and I fully expect to be number one in the country again next year.
It's interesting too because we've seen this defense and the way Michigan won the national championship with this offensive line, this ground and pound, run it down your throats. It really was something to see that style does work. That style does win championships, and that's a style that I think so many people felt limited Michigan in the past, but in the end, they won their way.
Yeah, I mean, Braun, when you have the right personnel, the Braun wins more often than not in college football. Like last 3 national champions, Michigan and the 2 Georgia teams, they both played a pretty ground and pound heavy style. But really the defense, I think, is the unsung hero of this team, which is crazy to say. But they play such a complementary style of football where the ground and pound works because you have a defense that has only allowed 17 touchdowns all season compared to their 18 interceptions and only allowing 8 passing touchdowns all year. This Michigan team was able to turn it into a slow, grinded-out game where their strength and conditioning was what won them the games and was their biggest mismatch.
Alex, were you a little nervous like I was towards the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, when it seemed to just be running the same play? Sharon Moore kept calling these runs that Washington definitely improved on their run defense. Michigan at one point was going nowhere fast, and when they're inside their own 5, if JJ doesn't escape and get out and get that 20, 30-yard run that he had, I believe that Washington could have been in this game to the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was slightly nervous, mostly because, we weren't putting points up the board, and Washington was the number 1 offense in the country, and it seemed like they were just due for a big breakout play almost. But this team has never really given me a big reason to be nervous at this point. Like, I reflected on the year at that point. Every time we needed a big drive, a big touchdown, they came through, whether it was the Rose Bowl, Penn State, Ohio State. They always came through. So while I was slightly nervous, I remember this is not your average Michigan team at all, and I had full faith that they would come through for us and help secure this championship.
Hey, Alex, last question for you. Let's just assume for a second that JJ goes to the NFL. Who do you think will be the quarterback next year? Will it be Alex Orji? Will it be the freshman Jaden Davis? Or will it be a transfer portal guy?
So I think the starting quarterback is in Schembechler Hall right now. If Michigan hasn't really pursued any quarterbacks in this first wave of the transfer portal, I don't think it's really the best thing to go for and get any of the post-spring ball guys. who lost the quarterback battle. That could happen. But I think if I had to say right now, it'd be Alex Orji, unless Jaden Davis has some great development. Because historically speaking, unless you're a true generational talent like a Trevor Lawrence, it is not great to throw a true freshman in the fire as starting quarterback in college football. They've not had enough time to unlearn their bad habits that they can get away with from high school. And with how tough Michigan's schedule will be next year, I don't think that's great. Unless Jaden Davis has some monumental development, I think Orji is going to be taking the first snap for the Wolverines next year.
Intern Alex, bright future ahead, young man. We are so proud of you. We are your biggest fans. We certainly appreciate you joining us. And hey, we'll talk to you next week. Is Jim Harbaugh staying? Is he going? Is JJ McCarthy staying? Is he going?
How about Juwan Howard on that basketball team? I want info next week, Alex.
We have a basketball team?
Yeah, right, exactly. I think there's one there. We're not sure. Intern Alex, Wolverine Wednesdays brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, guys, we'll be back to wrap it up next, but first a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest hotels, casinos, and restaurants with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do is visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue for grab-and-go steaks. If you can't make it in person, you can always order online. They ship next day. FairwayPacking.com, FairwayPacking.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey, coming to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. I got mine here today. Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
You got a great experience.
Feel like $1 million too. You register to win a trip of your dreams. I didn't get a chance to do that because I work for the company. Register to win a trip of your dreams, an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. No expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's open 7 days a week. You could walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
So, don't ask why, but I threw the Pistons game on a little bit yesterday.
Hey, they got up. They were up 18 in the first quarter.
They scored 47 points in the first quarter.
And they were down 3 at the half after being up 18 in the first quarter.
And they lost by 21.
They
were up by 18 points in the first quarter. And in the next 3 quarters, they lost by 39. Just those second, third, and fourth quarter, they lost by 39. Now, they don't have Cade Cunningham with, and they don't play any defense at all.
No,
I mean, you ever see that GIF or GIF, whatever they call it, with the guy getting into Yankee Stadium and the security guards? Like,
yeah.
That's like the
That is a
Pistons
great
defense.
one.
That's
That
the
is
Pistons defense. But if anybody is going to the game tonight, you are going to get to see Victor Wembanyama.
Yes, and guess what? The Spurs have 5 wins. The Pistons have 3 wins.
What are you saying?
The Spurs are 3.5-point favorites tonight. I'm just saying, as bad as the Pistons have been, as bad as the Spurs have been, 5 wins, they're still 2 games better than the Pistons. A 5-win team is 2 games better than our hometown Pistons. I just never in a million years thought it would be this.
I think the problem, though, too, there in that case is because at least you feel better if you're the Spurs because you have Victor and you know this is this like generational talent.
3-34. 3-34 is their record. This is what Monty Williams came back for 3-34.
No, he didn't come back for that. He came back for $80 million.
Is $80 million worth enduring this embarrassment?
Yes. Yes, it is.
When you already had $80 million?
Yes.
All right. Not to me. I'd rather get hit by a bus here on Woodward.
Well, you're
get disability.
You're trying to do that anyway.
I got to do that when I leave here today. I'm
well,
going to pick my spots.
Now, if that happens, they've got this tape and they think it's intentional.
Well, who's going to turn me in? These guys aren't going to turn me in. You guys wouldn't rat me out, would you?
Yeah, I would.
No. What kind of friend are you?
No. God, no, never. Never, man.
I'll wait till I go to Florida and get hit by a golf cart.
Right.
All right?
You can do that.
3-34 is an effing disaster.
Oh, my God.
I never heard of such a thing. I got nothing to say. And you know what? I'm going to go to the game tonight.
Are you really?
Yes.
You sick.
I'm going to go.
You're a sicko.
I'm going.
There might be a better crowd tonight than there was last night.
No.
There were like 200 people there last night.
Yeah, you might have 300 this time.
Well, people want to go see Wemby or no?
Yeah, maybe.
No weather's bad.
Maybe. Is it going to be bad tonight?
I don't know. I mean, you think I don't do the weather.
Pistons off until tomorrow. They host the Oilers tomorrow. That means Kenny Holland bringing his Oilers into town tomorrow. And Mark D'Antonio, guys, congrats to you Michigan State folks out there. He was elected into the College Football Hall of Fame. So congrats to Mark D'Antonio.
Kenny Holland. I love Kenny Holland.
I do too.
Kenny Holland.
Ryan.
Kenny Holland never met a microphone he didn't like.
I love Kenny.
And he would talk to you for 20, 30 minutes.
I think I'm going to get him on tomorrow for us.
You should.
Oh, should.
And
Can you talk to him?
Yeah, I could talk to him.
All right.
And I love how he calls himself a manager.
A manager.
Not
He's so
not a
great.
general manager. He's
No,
not the general
manager.
He's a manager.
He's a manager. I love him. I love Kenny Holland. I do.
Oh, God.
He's killing the Oilers, but I love him.
Why don't you set up Holland for D-Mac and Neil Rule?
I could do that.
That'd be
I don't know
nice.
if they're interested.
Oh, maybe then. Why don't you ask him?
I'll ask him.
Yeah. Tell him you set up Kenny Holland, the manager of the Oilers.
I got one last thing for you.
Okay.
I've had this in the rundown the last couple days.
Okay.
Not that it matters anymore, but because he really doesn't play
There's
as much.
something there's something oddly sad about this to me.
I'm sad too. Put up the Tiger Woods goodbye from Nike.
Hell of a round, Tiger.
And you all remember the commercial that was the greatest commercial ever.
With the ball, the final
just,
rotation.
With the little Nike swoosh rolling and sitting at the top of the cup and rolling in and falling into that cup. Tiger Woods is leaving Nike after how many
27 years?
27 years. He's going to Adidas, I think. Adidas,
really?
I think he's going to Adidas. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to start his own thing.
But, he doesn't play often anymore. But he is, to me, is golf.
Yeah.
He'll always be golf to me. Obviously, I loved Arnie and Jack. But Tiger Woods is the man.
I like this. Look at that.
And let's show Ryan today on the 9. Look at that little guy. Love that guy right there.
Hail!
Oh, this one.
Hail!
That way. There it is.
To Michigan, the national champions. We will see you tomorrow.
See you guys.